Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Commentary Hub's coverage of tonight's first leg in the UEFA Europa Conference League semi-final. It's Leicester City up against Roma. The players are in the tunnel at the King Power Stadium. We've got Leicester City royalty in the crowd, of course. Gary Lineker is here. He wouldn't be one to miss Leicester City's first ever European semi-final. It's a big night, of course, for Roma too. It's a long time since they've won a European trophy as well, and they will be looking to capitalize on their second leg advantage. But that's a week away yet. Tonight's game sees 4 changes. For Leicester, Brendan Rodgers made 4 changes to his side that drew 0-0 with Aston Villa in a very forgettable Premier League game at the weekend. In goal, we've got Kasper Schmeichel. Ricardo Pereira returns to the side of fullback with Wesley Fofana. Johnny Evans has also been past fit. That was rather unexpected. He's a centre-back. And Timothy Castagna retains his place at left-back. Midfield 3 is James Maddison, Yuri Tielemans, and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. And in the front 3, Mark Albrighton and Ademola Lookman are on the flanks, and Jamie Vardy is going to make his first start since the 5th of March, and it's only going to be his second start in Europe all season. On the bench for Leicester, James Justin and Chagwa Soyuncu and Pasandaka drop out of the side and go onto the bench. Nampalys Mendy is the other player who dropped out of the team from the weekend. He isn't in the squad at all. Also on the bench for Leicester, we've got Harvey Barnes, Danny Ward, Kelechi Iheanacho, Ayoze Perez, Daniel Amati, Hamza Chowdhury, Luke Thomas, Yannick Vestergaard, and also returning to fitness, Boubakary Soumare. Tammy Abraham, the last Roma player out of the tunnel, as the players emerge onto the King Power Stadium field, ready for the Europa Conference League anthem. Rui Patricio is in goal. Then Roma have a back 3 of Roger Ibanez, Chris Smalling, and Gianluca Mancini. 5 across the midfield. Rick Karsdorp, Henrik Mkhitaryan, Brian Cristante, Lorenzo Pellegrini, the captain, and Nikola Zalewski. And up front, partnering the very impressive Abraham, is the man who was very influential in their last game, scoring a hat-trick, the last European game, that is, scoring a hat-trick against Bodo Glimt, Nicolo Zaniolo. On the bench then, for Roma, they've made 2 changes to the side that lost 3-1 to Inter. Out go Sergio Oliveira and Stefan El Shaarawy. Brian Cristante and Zaniolo were the 2 who came back into the team. Oliveira and El Shaarawy on the bench, along with Matias Vigna, Carles Perez, Eldor Shoromodov, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Jordan Veretout, Marash Kambula, Leonardo Spinazzola. That's quite a story for Spinazzola if he could make an appearance today. He's been out of the side all season since that horrific injury in the Euro 2020 quarterfinal. Eduardo Bove, Pietro Boer, Felix Afenajan, and Daniel Fazzato make up the bench for Leicester City. The 2 captains, Pellegrini and Schmeichel, are in the middle of the field for the Toinkos, which is being conducted by the Spanish officiating team for today. Carlos Del Cerro is the referee. His assistants, Juan Carlos Uestre and Roberto Alonso Fernandez. The 4th official is Jesus Gil. In the VAR room is Juan Martinez and his assistant Alejandro Hernandez. VAR has been brought in now to the Europa Conference League for the semi-final stage. It was absent for the rest of the competition. The King Power Stadium is not quite full. Roma don't seem to have sold out their allocation, I should say, and there's a few pockets of empty seats, but a good crowd in and a good atmosphere for an historic occasion for Leicester City, a first ever European semi-final. They had to get here the hard way, quarter-final against PSV. They were heading out before two late goals turned the tie around. And Roma have lost 3 times to Bodo Glimt this season, including a 6-1 defeat in the group stage. But a 4-0 win in the second leg a couple of weeks ago has seen them finally get the see off this Norwegian hoodoo and reach the semi-final stage. The players take the knee, including most of the Roma players. I couldn't see if quite all of them took it, but at least most of them did. Leicester City will be kicking off, going from left to right as I look at it in their usual royal blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks. Roma are in their change kit, white shirt, red shorts and white socks. Vardy gets the game underway and immediately Leicester City come out to the right wing. James Maddison and Michael Brighton linking up. Now Yuri Tielemans is in the middle of the field. Good tackle by Henrik Mkhitaryan has forced Leicester City to go back. Johnny Evans plays the ball to Schmeichel. He's under quite a bit of pressure, had to be hurried in the end, but a good clearance out toward Brighton, who had a bit more time, I think he realised, tried to play an audacious ball, and he did manage to find a teammate. But again, the ball ends up back in Schmeichel's possession. Maddison now operating in the middle of the park, back to Fofana. 21 is Ricardo Pereira from the fullback position, now cutting in fields, using Maddison again. In the opening minutes, it's been dominated by Leicester possession, or Brighton now looking for Vardy. There's a slip by Smalling. He's allowed Vardy in across, and it's had to be turned behind. Lightning star from Leicester City, and Mancini had to turn it behind for a corner. And the first sight of goal falls to Leicester, and it was a fall indeed that set up the chance from Chris Smalling. He slipped. That allowed Vardy to play the ball across, and he could only pick out Mancini. But it's going to be a corner now for Leicester. James Maddison is over it. In it comes now. Maddison cleared away. This time Mkhitaryan was there. Oh, and Zaniolo, trying to protect the ball, has caught Michael Brighton in the face, and despite being in possession, he's given away the free kick. Zaniolo, the rather very strong, powerful looking striker. Young man, just 22 years old. He could be a real force to be reckoned with. In comes the free kick, and it's turned behind again. Leicester are claiming a corner, and the referee says it is a corner. He has deemed it to come off Brian Cristante. Well, Brighton wants to take it, but he leaves it to James Maddison in the end. First man hit last time by Maddison. Let's see if he can do better this time. In it comes. Turned away again by the first man. Ball comes back out to Maddison, who stays onside. He uses Dewsbury Hall. Cross comes in, and it's going to be a third corner. Third corner of the evening already. We've not quite played 3 minutes. This time Karsdorp turned it behind. It's going to be on the far side this time. The previous 2 on the near side. Rui Patricio. Plenty of Premier League experience with Wolves. He's barking as ordered now. No pun intending, Wolves barking. I'll leave the jokes to the pros. Fofana in there, Tielemans in there, Evans as well. In comes another in-swinger, and oh, what a chance! A good move from the training ground there to the back post. Timothy Castagna was there. Everybody peeled to the front post, apart from Castagna, who got away from his marker. and tried to turn it in with his head, but he couldn't quite get the direction on it. Plenty of power behind it, but eventually he heads it behind for a goal kick, which Roma have taken. And Brendan Rodgers is applauding what he's seen so far from his side. A really positive opening 4 minutes for the Foxes. Now it's the first meaningful possession that Roma have had. Smalling goes out to Zalewski. And they're forced back now. Smalling tries the other wing this time. Karsdorp. Forward again by Ibanez. He's looking for Tammy Abraham. He's tussling with Fofana, and he does head it down, but only into Yuri Tielemans. Looking for Dewsbury Hall now. And turned behind by Lookman. No European goals so far this season in 10 appearances for Ademola Lookman. It's only his fourth start across the two European competitions. Of course, Leicester were in the Europa League group stage. Dropped down into the Conference League. Finished third behind Napoli and Spartak Moscow. Despite a fantastic win out in Moscow, where Patson Daka scored 4 in a 4-3 victory. Zambian Daka on the bench this evening. Roma coming forward looking for Abraham again, but a combination of Albrighton and Pereira cuts it out. Maddison uses Pereira into the Roma half. Space to run into, uses Albrighton further wide. Back inside, James Maddison. Looking for options, has to use Evans. Well, takes a 1-2 from the Northern Ireland international and is forcibly knocked to the ground again by the powerful Zaniolo, and Maddison seems to be hurt. I don't think anything too damaging. Yeah, he just had his foot caught by Zaniolo, who then came in for a bit of afters. Maddison up now, takes the free kick short to Ricardo Pereira. Less comfortable in possession again. Nice link-up play between Pereira and Evans. Now Pereira tries to look for Vardy in behind. Smalling does better that time and turns the ball out for a throw-in. Leicester lively. Again, they're not resting on their laurels at all. Tielemans out to, and now into. Oh, lovely pass by Albrighton, trying to look for Maddison running in. Smalling just about got there first, and another throw. Pereira goes quick again to Maddison, to Albrighton, and Albrighton had lost it, and then he almost stole the ball back from Tammy Abraham. I think he's won himself a free kick there. Great work. Really good work by the Leicester man. In fact, the England international Abraham has been booked. It was a poor throw-in from Leicester, really. They conceded possession, but Abraham was just a bit too sluggish. And the very alert Mark Albrighton stole possession off him. And Abraham, fouled the experienced Leicester man. And it's going to be another dangerous set play for Leicester City. Just outside the Roma penalty area. Dewsbury Hall is over it, as is Maddison. Tielemans lurking on the edge of the area. Brighton as well. What will Leicester do here? Referee just having a word. Maddison in to the back post, headed to clear. Only out as far as Dewsbury Hall. Cleared by Cristante. Sorry, it wasn't Dewsbury, it was Castagna. Castagna. And now the ball is going out of play for a Leicester throw-in. Eamon is gone here on the commentary hub. My name is Anthony Thomas. I'm joining. Hope you're enjoying this evening's commentary. It's Leicester 0, Roma 0 here in the semi-final first leg, UEFA Europa Conference League. Now Dewsbury Hall. Ball infield. to the man pulling the string so far, James Maddison. Pereira, Albrighton, cross, back post, Lookman's there, headers back in field to Dewsbury Hall, back again, Lookman. Inventive pass in field, and now a shot comes in, Maddison blocked, to try again, another block. And finally, Roma get the ball away. It was Cristante who found Abraham. Abraham does well to get away from Fofana and Albrighton. Uses Mkhitaryan. Now Cristante uses Abraham on the left wing. He has an overlap in the form of Zalewski. Doesn't use him. Abraham now. Lovely ball in field. Zaniolo. Zaniolo cuts it back and clears. Johnny Evans in the way. And Yuri Tielemans clears for Leicester. So the first real danger sign for the home side. A really nice bit of work there from Abraham. He was tight on the wing, but cut in field, beat a couple of players and played a nice through ball into Zaniolo. Got to the byline, tried to play the ball back in field. He was onside. I'm just seeing the replay now. Stayed onside very well there against Johnny Evans, but Evans recovered, got something behind the cross, and it was turned away. Roma coming again now. This is better from the team with the Italian capital. Karsdorp now. His through ball is overhit, looking for Zaniolo. He was never going to get on the end of that one. Whistles and jeers from the home support. 10.5 minutes gone here on the commentary hub, covering tonight's game in Leicestershire. Brendan Rodgers, we're happy with his team's work so far. Of course, there's a great link between these two managers. I might get back into that in a minute. So Roma win a free kick inside the Leicester half, their first of the evening. Again, Zaniolo causing problems. Yes, Castagna, who fouled him. You're hearing the chanting of the travelling fans for the first time this evening. Really, finally, the the Leicester noise has subsided momentarily, at least. So Chris Smalling is up from the back, looking to get his head on something. Zaniolo and Abraham, of course, in there as well. In comes a free kick. Fofana is up there. It's not cleared yet. It's a bit of a scramble. Shot comes in, blocked. And Dewsbury Hall eventually comes away with it. And Leicester clear properly now. Dewsbury Hall again, looking for support. Just about no. Zaniolo gets the better of Tielemans. And the strength of Zaniolo has been the most impressive aspect so far for the visitors. And he's won a throw-in deep inside the Leicester half. It's going to be Zalewski to take. Finds Abraham. Back to Zalewski. Crossing opportunity. He has to get away from Pereira first. Now right by the corner flag. And settles for a throw-in. The ball taking a touch off Ricardo Pereira. Zalewski was going down a bit of a blind alley, so decided to settle for the throw, which he's taken quite long. But it goes straight to Wesley Fofana. Ball is cleared. It's all the way back now with Chris Smalling, who uses his goalkeeper. Two former Premier League players, combining two of Roma's former Premier League stars. Now, the other goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, it's his 11th season. That's the Leicester number one now. One of the veterans from the title-winning team of 2016. Not many of those left now. And Karsdorp tries to put the ball down the wing again, and he's rather unsuccessful. It was blocked. Thrown to Roma. Shows that Mourinho seems upset with something already. It's going to be thrown to Leicester, actually. That's probably what Mourinho was obsessed about. It looked to my eyes that it has come off a Leicester player, but not according to the officials. And now Roma will have a throw-in only about 10 yards further back. They decide to go backwards. Leicester have had almost 2/3 of the possession, 64% so far in the opening. Not quite a quarter of an hour gone so far. Karsdorp now throw in on the far side as I look at it. He uses Mkhitaryan. He does very well to find Zalewski on the opposite wing. Zalewski now has space. He's up against Pereira now. Comes in field. Zalewski still going. Lovely pass in field with a shot. Oh, it's the opening goal! Roma take the lead. And it's Pellegrini, the captain. 1-0 to Roma. Just under 15 minutes played. And despite the early Leicester pressure, Roma survived, soaked it up, got more of the ball, and eventually took the lead. And they did so well there to switch possession around the halfway line. Lovely ball to find Zalewski. And his through ball was perfectly timed, absolutely exquisite. And nobody could track the incoming Lorenzo Pellegrini. And he only needed one touch to fire the ball across Kasper Schmeichel into the opposite corner. And the Giallorossi have gone 1-0 up on the quarter of an hour mark. Leicester City 0, Roma 1. Pellegrini with his 5th goal of this campaign. He scored against Trabzonspor, a couple against CSKA Sofia, one in the defeat against Burger Glimt, the 2-1 defeat in the quarter-final first leg. And he struck again in the first leg, away from home as well. He'll be hoping this time the result is more positive for his side. Very good campaign that he's having, the 25-year-old Italian. Patricio with a goal kick forward, gone out of play. Leicester throw inside their own half. Castagne and Tielemans, the two Belgians linking up. And the ball eventually out of play again. Now Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan now going forward, crosses. Nice cross. A bit tame in the end, of Fafana was able to clear very simply. Now the Roma fans in full voice. And good travelling support. Now Dewsbury Hall for Leicester. Has to go back. Tielemans. Castagne again, and Zaniolo putting himself about. Leicester just can't cope with this physicality at the moment. So they have regained possession through a throw-in. Castagne now in possession, infield, Dewsbury Hall. Good pass out by Tielemans out to Pereira, who's in space. Albrighton, now Maddison. Better from Leicester this time. Tries to find Pereira, now Leicester a bit exposed on this near side. Here comes Zalewski. Into Pellegrini again. Now Mkhitaryan. He's about 25 yards out. Will he shoot? No. Oh, and he probably should have. Mkhitaryan seemed to be shaping to shoot. And they decided to lay the ball off to his right, where Cristante was there. But Cristante had checked his run. And crossed wires meant that Mkhitaryan's ball had no one running onto it. And out it went. attack over. Well, Leicester still with the better possession stats, I imagine. But Roma are looking the more dangerous at the moment. They're soaking up the pressure well now after a bit of a slow start. But having said that, they've conceded a free kick here. Ademola Lookman upended just inside the Roma half, quite wide out. Leicester decide to go back. Evans. And Fofana, the Frenchman, French under-21 international, who scored against Rennes in this competition, so against his side of his nation. Ball back now with Kasper Schmeichel, who may be shocked to learn is 35 years old. I think if you are at my age and you grew up watching Peter Schmeichel in goal, and to think that Peter's son is now 35, it really does make you feel quite old. 20 minutes gone. Leicester throwing on the halfway line, and Timothy Castagno, I think, must have picked up a knock somewhere because he is being replaced. Castagno is off. Just see who is being. It's James Justin. James Justin enters the field. I couldn't see if there was an injury or something that that Castagno picked up, but he's had to leave the field of play after just 20 minutes. So clearly some underlying issue there. James Justin, who started the game at the weekend, he had a long injury layoff for about a year out. The ACL injury, of course, one of the worst ones for a player to suffer. He came back in January. 10 appearances in the Premier League so far. This could be his 4th in Europe. See how he can impact this game. Bad foul there by Mancini. Came straight through Ricardo Pereira. I'm sorry, it was Ibanez. Roger Ibanez. It's going to be another opportunity for either an outswinger by Albrighton or an inswinger by Dewsbury Hall. It's going to be Dewsbury Hall, high and too far, and in the end gathered by Patricio. He couldn't quite leave that one. It was going to... Justin was there beyond the back post. I think the ball would have gone out for a goal kick, but Patricio does well and safely gathers. Looking for Zaniolo. Patricio with his goal kick. And again, it goes to Schmeichel, who steps forward with the ball with a bit of urgency, and he finds Pereira. And the ball goes back to Schmeichel, who finds Pereira once again. Well, Brighton and Maddison and Pereira, they've been linking up well. And Maddison's ball that time to Pereira. Couldn't quite find him, but it was a nice idea. Cristante now. And Zaniolo. They was looking for a free kick, but Leicester come away with it. Tielemans tries to force one through to Lookman, but it didn't quite work out. Pellegrini again in the middle. Gets away from Brighton, away from Tielemans. Uses Mkhitaryan. Zaniolo now out to Zalewski. And Ibanez uses Smalling. Smalling forwards, looking for Karsdorp. Now Ibanez, good spell of possession by Roma. And gets away from Justin. But now Leicester win it back. Well won. And by Johnny Evans, who would step forward out of his usual defensive position. Fofana now looking for options, has to scamper away from Tammy Abraham. He does so very well. He's going over the halfway line now. Fofana's still going. Oh, and eventually loses out to Cristante. But a really good injection of energy for Leicester there from the young French centre-back. Now Lookman going nowhere. Almost loses out. Gets a second bite at it. Gets in a bit of a mix with James Justin, but the Leicester survive. Justin now back to Dewsbury Hall. Edge of the box now. And finally, Roma managed to win possession back. And Evans with the tackle. Ball out of play. Roma throw in the middle of their own half. Please remember to like this video, comment on it with your views on this game. And of course, please subscribe to the Commentary Hub. We also have our other channel, the Commentary Hub 2. Please find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's Commentary Live 1. Please help us to build our channel if you're enjoying these commentaries. Ginn in Dewsbury Hall has now gone into the book. A late challenge on Henry Mkhitaryan. Yeah, that's a yellow card all day long. First Leicester player into the book. A man who sounds like a stately home. Ginn in Dewsbury Hall. "23-year-olds signed a couple of years ago from Luton Town. Roma free kick looking for Tammy Abraham, but he was offside. Top Shinadeva Papa is in attendance. Leicester owner. Now Maddison into Jamie Vardy. No angle for shooting. Plays it against Chris Smalling and wins another corner. And you have a feeling that at some point today, one of those through balls to Vardy is going to be better positioned, and he's going to get away from Smalling and have a really, really good chance. You can just see it coming ever since the opening minutes when Smalling slipped at the first sign of pressure. Another corner. Albrighton is on corner duty now after some average ones from Maddison. In as far as Dewsbury Hall. Now Zaniolo has won it back, and Roma on the counter-attack. They're moving the ball very, very well. Now it's Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan, few yards. Oh, his cross to Zaniolo is just overhit. Zaniolo there, and Cristante, Mkhitaryan. The speed at which they broke will be causing Leicester some real concerns. Zaniolo would have been offside had he reached the cross. But even so, the counter-attacking pressure that Jose Mourinho's team is putting under Brendan Rodgers' side is fairly breathtaking. Schmeichel's, the ball is cut out by Mancini. Leicester throw in around the halfway mark. Albrighton has taken it to Pereira, and Albrighton again now back to Fofana. Uses Evans across, James Justin over the halfway line. Justin now trying to find Lookman. Just about manages to find him. Leicester forced to check back. Evans again, now Fofana. On the other wing now, Ricardo Pereira. Maddison. Albrighton back into Pereira, who's continued moving forward. He uses Maddison again, trying to get away from Mkhitaryan. Comes in field, then back out to Albrighton, and he throws the ball, tries to play the ball into Pereira. He shoved off the ball, but now Leicester brought it back again. Dewsbury Hall into Lookman. Chance for Leicester. Well blocked. Shots from Lookman after a lovely ball into him. And Chris Smalling this time recovered very well. Got his whole body behind the ball. And it ricocheted once or twice off another Roma player. It was Abraham's poor ball. It was cut out by Tielemans. Then Dewsbury Hall played the ball into Lookman, who shaped to shoot from a similar, kind of the opposite angle to where Roma scored, the opposite point on the pitch. No, well recovered by Chris Smalling. Now in comes the corner, looking for the back post. Oh, it's Patricio went for it, but didn't get anything behind it. And James Justin was there at the back post, but he couldn't divert it goalwards. Just kind of hit him, James Justin. I think he didn't expect the ball to reach him. We're approaching the 30-minute mark in the game. It's Leicester City 0, Roma 1 at the King Power. Patricio's goal kick is dealt with. James Justin again in possession. Back to Johnny Evans. Leicester switch sides, and it's this Pereira or Brighton combination again. But this time they're robbed possession, and Zalewski and Pellegrini. Oh, Zalewski, sorry, and Zaniolo tried to combine. And now Fofana's trying to come forward. He nearly loses out. Recovers to find Justin. Brings the ball over halfway. Lookman returns the ball to Justin. Tielemans now in the middle of the field. Pereira. What can he do this time? Tries to find Maddison, who's gone down. Fair challenge by Cristante, says the referee. But again, Tielemans is there to win the ball back. Second time he's done that in a matter of moments. Dewsbury Hall now gets away from his marker. Uses Maddison. Maddison shapes to shoot. Does shoot. Curls the ball over the bar. And looked to shape with his right foot there, Maddison. Then cut back and took the shot with his left foot from about 22, 23 yards. Went for the curling effort, but too high, a bit too wide as well. Harmlessly over Patricio's bar. And Gary Lineker on screen again. He's got one of his sons with him as well. Of course, local lad, started his career with the Foxes. And so while we've been looking at Gary Lineker, I think Fofana's had some treatment, but he's okay to continue. To the cries of "Oh, Wesley Fofana" from the Foxes faithful. And now referee Carlos Del Cerro gives Patricio the thumbs up to get the ball into play again from the goal kick. And before you know it, it's in Kasper Schmeichel's possession. Schmeichel with a decent attempted pass to Jamie Vardy, who knocks it down, but only to a Roma man. And now Patricio has found Zalewski. Zalewski does very well to get away from Ricardo Pereira. It's been a really good battle all game between those two. And now Pereira recovers. I'm going to enjoy the rest of that battle for as long as it remains this evening. Zalewski takes the throw. Uses Ibanez. Mancini and Ibanez not playing on the sides of the back three that I expected today, so I'm always having to just check a name or two. Now Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall moving forward. He's into the penalty area. He's got Cristante for company. Now uses Lookman. Lookman fires straight at Patricio and cleared away. Really good effort there by Lookman. If that was either side of the goalkeeper, then the Portugal international would have really struggled to deal with that. He had a lot of power behind it. Unfortunately, just a little bit too straight. And Patricio wasn't able to hold it. He parried it. Fortunately for him, Ibanez was there to clear the ball away. I think the Leicester man would have been offside, the man running in. I think it was Jamie Vardy. Of course it was. And it was Smalling, in fact, who cleared the ball away. But yeah, that was too hot for Patricio to handle. Five attempts on goal for Leicester, just the 2 for Roma, but most important stat is Leicester 0, Roma 1. Some other scores for you in the Europa League semi-final. I'll bring those to you actually in a moment because Dewsbury Hall is coming forward again and cuts out his poor pass, cut out by Zilewski. Went under pressure by Mkhitaryan, and the Armenian now plays the ball across field to Karsdorp. Karsdorp now forward, and his rather hopeful ball forwards goes straight to Kasper Schmeichel. He's not had much to do so far, Karsdorp, but he's been a bit disappointing when going forward. The Dutchman, former Eredivisie winner with Feyenoord. Ricardo Pereira now forward, cut out by Chris Smalling and headed out to play. Marco Brighton waiting to take the throw. He leaves it, in fact, for Pereira. Pereira finds Marco Brighton. Maddison now gets away from one, and now Dewsbury Hall in plenty of space. Oh, a poor touch by him. And Chris Smalling has fouled him. And it's going to be a free kick in a perfect shooting position. This is James Maddison territory. Maddison's ball across field, and Dewsbury Hall in the centre of the field, only 25 yards out. I think he just took his eyes off the ball there, and it was a poor control. He should have had enough time to control the ball and take a shot, but his poor control meant he was trying to recover and allow Chris Smalling to get tight to him, and Smalling came right through him and conceded a foul. I don't believe the referee has booked him. Big chance now for Leicester. But Maddison so far, he's not been so successful with his corners. He'll be hoping for something better. And in fact, his one shot from outside the box from open play has went astray. Patricio just getting his wall precisely where he wants it. Got 4 men in the wall, 5 men in the wall, in fact. And Leicester have made a 3-man wall in front of them. We've also got a player laying down behind the Roma wall. Maddison and Dewsbury Hall are over it. I'm sure this will be Maddison's, but I could be wrong. The referee has blown his whistle. Here comes James Maddison with the effort. Oh, he hits the wall. Back out to Maddison. Lofts the ball, only straight into the arms of Patricio, who then punches the air. Delighted with his defensive shape there. Very happy with his wall. That's why goalkeepers spend the time to get in the wall exactly how they want it. They did very well there. Roma standing firm. So it remains Leicester City 0, Roma 1. And Jamie Vardy has been upended, but no foul given against Mancini. Throw in to Leicester to be taken by James Justin. He plays it short to Lookman. Lookman infield, gets away from a couple of would-be challengers. Now Maddison again. Ricardo. Maddison again, first time cross, headed away. And Zaniolo gets the ball away, comes deep. Pellegrini now. No players ahead of him that he can find, and almost loses possession. He just about manages to keep his team moving forward with the ball. And it's Ibanez now in plenty of space inside his own half still. Chris Smalling. Last up now, tries another of those through balls on that far side down the wing, but another one was unsuccessful. James Justin cuts it out, and eventually the ball back with Kasper Schmeichel. In the other semi-final, it's 2-1 between Feyenoord and Marseille. 2-1 to the home side. Feyenoord, they went 2-0 up, and Marseille scored their goal in the 28th minute of the game. Oh, Mkhitaryan attempts a through ball to Tammy Abraham, and Leicester just about managed to keep it from reaching him. And Dewsbury Hall now on the attack. Now Yuri Tielemans. Dewsbury Hall on the left wing. He uses Justin. Plays the 1-2, and now with Vardy. Lays it off to Maddison. Maddison with another chance to shoot. He goes for that curling effort again. And twice now, that curling effort with the left foot on the edge of the box hasn't worked out for James Maddison. That attempt was better than the first, but he just can't get his angles right, I think. And another one that went, it's got a few yards over the bar, in fact, in the end. So 2-1 to Feyenoord in the other semi-final first leg. And in the Europa League, it's 0-0 between RB Leipzig and Rangers, and 1-1 between West Ham and Frankfurt. Ansgar Knauf with a goal the opening minute for Frankfurt, and Michael Antonio 20 minutes later restores parity in East London. For, I should say, three big grand old names of European football, Feyenoord, Marseille and Roma in these semi-finals of the Europa Conference League. And of course, great for English football to see Leicester there as well. Anyway, here's Pereira. Forward, Albrighton plays the ball in field, claims a handball against Smalling, but no, clearly came off his stomach. Out for another corner. So this competition, I was saying, was invented for these maybe lower ranked nations on the UEFA coefficient, but we've got some. It's great to see these big names taking this competition seriously. Anyway, corner, cleared away. Dewsbury Hall has the chance to put the ball back in. He does. Crosses very well, and Tammy Abraham had to get under that one. Still not clear. Now Maddison edge of the box with another effort into Patricio. He can't hold it now. Look, what's he going to do? Has his back to goal? Is he fouled there? No. Maddison again over the bar. Now, offside has been given against somebody in at some point, that crazy move. Chris Smalling is down holding his head. Rui Patricio is angry about something. He's having words with the referee. Wow, that was, so the corner was cleared. Dewsbury Hall crossed the ball back in, and from, yes, Lookman and maybe Fofana were offside at that moment. Then Patricio thought he was tripped by Lookman. And I think, yeah, actually on the replay, Lookman did live up to his name, I should say, and looked straight at Patricio. And did seem to trip him up on purpose. Lucky to get away without a booking there. And a little bit of panic. The ball fell then to Lookman, who had his back to goal. He tried to lay it off and fell again on the edge of the box to Maddison. And another effort from him over the bar. Wouldn't have counted anyway. In the meantime, Abraham has come forwards and tried a bit of a hopeful cross. And it went out to play for a goal kick. We've got 2 minutes of the 45 left. Leicester looking for an equaliser just before half-time. James Justin on the rampage. Upended by Mancini. Free kick to Leicester City. About 30 yards out, wide on the left. Another chance to get a ball into the box. Usual suspects are over it. Usual suspects also in the box. Roma holding their offside line right to the edge of the 18-yard box. Lookman, Evans, Fofana, Justin, Vardy, all up there for Leicester. All Brighton and Dewsbury Hall over it. It's going to be all Brighton with the in-swinger to the back post. Abraham heads away again. Is it going to go out for a corner? Yes, it is. Another corner for Leicester City. I've lost count of the number they've had. It must be minimum of 6. And O'Brighton trudges over from the opposite side to take this corner on the near side. An outswinger with his right foot. In it comes. A little bit over hits. Justin can't do anything with that. And Brian Cristante brings the ball away. Evans and Justin trying to recover, but Cristante does well. Almost manages to find Zaniolo. Pereira was there. And eventually, Kasper Schmeichel, 30 yards outside his own goal, is in possession now. Oh, plays it short along the floor to Brighton, and Abraham almost managed to steal that one. With Schmeichel would have been stranded if he'd lost that. And now Abraham on the halfway line. Plays the ball back to Cristante. Cristante tries to outmuscle Pereira and is awarded a free kick. 2 minutes are to be added, a minimum of 2 minutes at the end of this first half. Really exciting, lively start to this two-legged affair. Karsdorp trying to get away from Lookman. Checks back. Doesn't want to play another through ball, and he's dribbling past defenders nicely, but he's going the wrong way. And eventually goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Straight down the middle from Patricio. Headed forward by Fofana, and Roma play themselves into a bit of trouble there as Cristante's ball just ballooned up into the air and Karsdorp had to kind of recover. And eventually the ball goes out of play for a Leicester throw in front of Brendan Rodgers. We've had 1 minute of the initial 2. The additional 2, I should say. Johnny Evans goes back to his goalkeeper. Ricardo, Pereira and Wesley Fofana combining now. Nice ball by Pereira forward to Jamie Vardy. Well, Brighton has possession stolen. Lovely nutmeg there by Zaniewski on Brighton. But then the ball is played to Abraham, who runs out of room on the touchline. And Leicester have another chance. But Zaniewski again tussling with Pereira. And there's a free kick awarded to Leicester. Just a few seconds left of this first half. Leicester are going to have to do something quickly if they're going to go into the break level. Evans taking his time. Launches one forward to Vardy and O'Brighton. But it's won back by Roma. And that'll do us for the opening 45. Leicester came out the blocks firing. But once Roma had survived that initial pressure, they managed to go on a few attacks themselves and took the lead. In the 15th minute, Lorenzo Pellegrini, the captain, put his side in front. So halfway through this first leg, at a quarter of the way through the tie at the King Power Stadium, it's Leicester City 0, Roma 1. Join me shortly for the second half. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub. I'm Anthony Thomas, and I'm bringing you alternative commentary of tonight's Europa Conference League semi-final first leg between Leicester City and AS Roma. It's the visitors who lead 1-0 at the break. Lorenzo Pellegrini's close-range finish has put Giallorossi ahead. We're just a quarter of the way through the tie, of course. Next week's second leg at the Stadio Olimpico still awaits us. Around Europe this evening, in the Europa League semi-finals, it's 0-0 between Leipzig and Rangers, 1-1 between West Ham and Eintracht Frankfurt. And the other Europa Conference League semi-final is level. It's 2-2 between Feyenoord and Marseille. Marseille were 2-0 down in that one. The winner, of course, will play in the inaugural Conference League final against either Leicester or Roma. Just waiting to get pictures from the King Power Stadium back again. And I'll confirm any changes as soon as I get them. So Roma have been in this competition for the duration of the season. Leicester joined after the winter break, having come third in the Europa League, which they qualified for, both for finishing fifth in the Premier League and also winning the FA Cup. Final, of course, we played at the Arena Kombitari in Tirana, Albania. It's a really nice modern stadium they built there in the Albanian capital. And it really is good to see new countries hosting these major European events. So all the players are back out for the second half. I finally got live pictures back, and Tammy Abraham is over the ball, waiting to kick Roma off from left to right in this second half. Abraham, the top scorer in the competition with 8 goals. Joint top, I should say, with Cyril Dessers. And in fact, Dessers has scored tonight for Feyenoord. So he's now out in front on his own. Now Abraham has some catching up to do. We have kicked off. Back here at the King Power, Roma came forward and Johnny Evans cleared the ball for Leicester. Out for a throw. Leicester, of course, in their home kit. Blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks. Roma are not in their famous red shirts tonight. They've got red shorts, but it's white shirts and socks for them with red trim. Down the wing now comes that well-manufactured partnership of Pereira and Albrighton. But eventually they go back to Johnny Evans, and Wesley Fofana is there. James Justin came onto the field after 20 minutes, replacing the injured Timothy Castagna. And there were no changes at the break. So as we were, I will run through those lineups again shortly. And Leicester ran out of space there. Albrighton and Maddison trying to combine and to throw into Roma in their own half. So Kasper Schmeichel in goal for Leicester, Ricardo Pereira, Wesley Fofana, Johnny Evans, and now James Justin at the back four. James Maddison, Yuri Tielemans, Kiernan, Dewsbury Hall. In midfield, Dewsbury Hall on a yellow card. Mark Albrighton and Adam Lookman on the wings, Jamie Vardy up front. Ball charged down there by Albrighton, but Smalling was first to it. Now Albrighton to the throw into James Maddison. Maddison trying to wriggle away from Zelievski and Abraham. He's forced all the way back to Fofana, and Leicester have gone from the edge of the Europa penalty area to 30 yards inside their own half in it's a matter of touches. They're coming again though. Lookman now tangling and gets away from his marker. Lookman now infield. Maddison across Albrighton uses Ricardo Pereira. He's in a good position to cross. He does cross. Looking for Dewsbury Hall, but Karsdorp gets it away. Dewsbury Hall again. Now James Justin, and James Justin is adjudged to have fouled his marker, Mancini. Free kick to Roma. Yeah, James Justin with an arm across. His arm across Mkhitaryan, in fact. Mkhitaryan went down. Rui Patricio then in goal for Roma. Back three of Mancini, Ibanez and Smalling. Five across the midfield. Karsdorp, Mkhitaryan, Cristante, Pellegrini and Zalewski. And up front, Zaniolo and Abraham. Abraham on a yellow card. Two England internationals in the starting lineup for Roma, and of course a third, Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the bench on loan from Arsenal. Abraham, as I said, been in very impressive form. He's got 15 goals in Serie A this season, 8, as I mentioned, in the Conference League. And reports recent in this week suggested that Arsenal are trying to sign him, and £67 million is the apparent asking price that Roma put on Abraham's head. Be interested to see where that transfer, a possible transfer, takes us over the summer. Tielemans wins the ball back. Fofana finds Maddison. Maddison back to the Belgian Tielemans. Pereira now. Everything's come through James Maddison again. Now he goes out to the other wing and James Justin. Leicester retaining possession, in no hurry to go forward. Playing the type of football that Brendan Rodgers had played so successfully. Ball into the box now. Karsdorp is forced to turn it behind. Lookman was lurking with intent. And Karsdorp couldn't take any chances. Puts the ball behind. It's going to be another corner for Leicester. They've had so many of them in this game, but none of them have really led to anything. 50 minutes gone. Now the King Power. Mark Albrighton going to try and in-swinger this time from this near side. Patricio bouncing on his line, barking orders. In it comes. Oh, a free header, 6 yards out. Ademola Lookman with a fantastic opportunity. The space just seemed to open up in front of him. Couldn't believe it. He's one of the smaller men on the field, but he was pretty much unmarked. Just inside the 6-yard box. Patricio had stayed relatively close to his line, and the ball was played right onto Lookman's head, but he just couldn't get over the ball and heads it over the bar. And I think he can't quite believe what a good chance he just had there. Patricio and his defence get away with one there. And his clearance, his goal kick, I should say, to Mkhitaryan, who is upended again. And Roma have a free kick, just inside their own half. Mkhitaryan again now forward looking for Abraham. Abraham loses out to Fofana. Now Zaniolo. Zaniolo back to Karsdorp. He uses Mancini. What can he do with this? He's looking for runners, looking for options. Uses Karsdorp again. Forward, looking for Zaniolo. And Zaniolo does manage to get on the end of this, but he has to reach for it and only turn it behind from a Leicester throw-in to stop it going out for a goal kick. And it's another really poor attempted through ball by Karsdorp. He's had no luck with those at all now. Well, Brighton tries to put Smalling under pressure, but he does well. Finds Ibanez. Forward again now, but now Vardy. Jamie Vardy is space. He's up against Chris Smalling. Jamie Vardy all on his own. Well won back by Ibanez. Vardy was preoccupied by trying to beat Chris Smalling, and he ran straight into the recovering Ibanez, who robbed him of possession well. Jamie Vardy hasn't had too many opportunities to run with the ball, but he has looked dangerous. Of course, his first start in about 6 weeks. He's had some injury concerns, been rested. He was on the bench last time out for Leicester against Aston Villa in that rather boring 0-0 draw. Leicester drew 1-1 with Everton, where they relinquished a lead. They've got Tottenham Hotspur next up. Rather inconsistent season for them. 11 wins, 9 draws, 12 defeats. And they're in 10th place with 42 points. After a couple of really great seasons where they've just narrowly missed out on Champions League qualification. I think this one was just one season too many for them. Roma are 5th in Serie A. 8 points behind Juventus, but they've got Fiorentina and Lazio 1 and 2 points respectively behind them, breathing down their necks. They're going to have to keep picking up points to guarantee European football for next season, unless of course they win the Conference League. And they're up against Bologna next. It's been they've had a tough run of fixtures. Lost to Inter last time out, and a 1-1 draw with Napoli before that. Napoli, both Inter and Napoli, falling away actually in the title race. But no one seems to want to win Serie A. It seems to be between AC Milan, Inter, and Napoli. But as soon as one of them finds themselves top of the league, they seem to throw away a couple of games. Their form seems to drop. I'm able to go so deep into the situation in Serie A because we've got a stoppage in play. Henrik Mkhitaryan seems to have been knocked about just once too often today, and it seems to be holding his hamstring. Hopefully it's nothing too serious for the former Manchester United, Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund man. Yeah, he's definitely nursing his hamstring. And at 33 years old, he can't afford too many injuries like that. Jordan Vertu is being readied, but he's put his warm-up bib back on, so Mkhitaryan might be okay to continue here. Rui Patricio goes long looking for Tammy Abraham. Ricardo Pereira is in possession now. Plays it infield to Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans inside his own half, but with space to run into. Over the halfway line now and finds Pereira again. Pereira continues to advance. Skips away from one challenge. Lovely threaded ball through to Madison. And Ibanez goes down and wins possession. Good challenge inside his area. Had to get that one right. But the Leicester pressure hasn't ended. Ricardo again. Now the ball comes in and turned away by Smalling. Another throw-in. Substitution. And yes, Mkhitaryan cannot continue. Yeah, it was a bit of clash there with Albrighton, both going for the ball. We're underway again. Leicester trying to get the ball into the box, but it's been cleared. Mkhitaryan off, Jordan Vertu on. That's a confirmed substitution. Number 17, Vertu on for Roma. Cross comes in from Albrighton, but goes past everybody and out for a throw into Roma on this near side. Bit too much on it for Ademola Lookman. They've had 57 minutes of the second half. Not many opportunities for either side. It's been a bit stop-start. Just a couple of injuries. It's been mainly Leicester with the ball again. They started the first half brightly, but went behind. They're hoping this bright start to the second half will be a bit more fruitful for them. Johnny Evans takes the ball over halfway line. He goes cross field, finds Pereira in space. Cristante trying to cover. Now Pereira links up with Maddison. Back to the England international again. Lookman tries to get away from Cristante. Roma clear their lines, looking for Abraham. Back again come Leicester. Now Roma again. Karsdorp on the wing. Checks back to Mancini. And then Smalling. Smalling again forward. Karsdorp in space this time. Forward. Zaniolo. Zaniolo. And then Cristante lose possession. Oh, and a bad challenge there. Jamie Vardy, I think he might be booked for that one. Yes. Yellow card for Jamie Vardy. Roger Ibanez decided to take matters into his own hands. Skipped away from one challenge. Took the ball over the halfway line, and then quite a cynical trip there from Vardy. Yeah. Stonewall. Stonewall yellow card's the only way to describe that one. Taking one for the team there, I think, the veteran, former England international. 10 goals. 10 goals in just 19 Premier League appearances. He's still got it. He's still got it at 35 years old, Jamie Vardy. I think he's been very sensible, as has Brendan Rodgers, about when and how he is used to try and get the most out of him. It's been good to see. Free kick into the area, looking for Chris Smalling, but slightly overhits and a little bit of a waste in the end there for Roma. Chris Smalling applauds the effort, thumbs up from him, but he's making a long trudge back into his own half and back into his centre-back position. But Leicester have taken a short goal kick. Evans, Tielemans, and now James Justin. Justin forward, fires one into Dewsbury Hall, who has to check himself. And now Tielemans. Tielemans with a nice through ball to Lookman, who can't get the ball under his spell properly, and Chris Smalling tackles him. He's back again now. Tielemans. And Fofana into Pereira. Pereira always capable of something. Maddison. Albrighton. How many times have I said those three names in succession this evening? Tielemans now has been upended. It's Karsdorp. Zaniolo, I should say. Zaniolo, who hauls Tielemans to the ground. And Leicester have had so many opportunities from corners and free kicks out wide to put the ball into the box. And very rarely has it come to anything. I think that's been the problem. Roma have conceded plenty of fouls. They've had to put the ball out of play for corners many times, but Leicester haven't capitalised. Let's see what they can do here. Albrighton looking for Justin and is headed down, still in the box. Fofana's got his back to goal, lays it off, and Dewsbury Hall fires one miles over the bar. It's into row Z. And that's the trigger for a double substitution for Leicester. Kelechi Iheanacho is coming on, as is Harvey Barnes. And Iheanacho is replacing Jamie Vardy, so a like-for-like change there. The Nigerian on to replace Vardy, who's I'm sure being spared for the Tottenham game of the weekend, also on a yellow card. And Albrighton, who has worked tirelessly on that wing, comes off. And Harvey Barnes replaces him. Way back underway. And immediately another foul has been given, this time against Roma man is Zaniolo. And the Leicester fans are cheering because they think a yellow card against Zaniolo has been long overdue. And yeah, he just ran into Justin and really clattered him. As I said in the first half, he was using his weight, using his strength to stamp his authority on the game, and rather successfully, I have to say. But that time, a bit too much force for the referee's liking. So into the book. Into the book now are both the Roma strikers, Abraham and Zaniolo. Poor ball this time, and Pellegrini, the goal scorer, is on the left wing, and he plays a lovely ball to Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham turns, gets away from one man. Zaniolo tussles, and Zaniolo cannot quite gather, and James Justin does very well to intercept that one in his own penalty area. Leicester survive, but another lethal lightning counter-attack by Roma. Abraham now. Number 22, Zaniolo. He's brought down this time. Roma free kick. Just inside Leicester territory. James Justin this time. Here's a reverse of the yellow card a minute ago. This time Justin fouling Zaniolo, but not enough to merit a booking. Bit scrappy there from Roma, and they're forced to play it long to nobody in particular, and Kasper Schmeichel gathers. And he chucks it out to Pereira. Pereira with Abraham in front of him. Decides to go back to Fofana. Evans. Forwards. Iheanacho. Iheanacho with a poor touch, and Smalling has robbed him of possession, and now Zaniolo forward. Advantage played by the referee. And just slip there. Oh, and it was a slip by Tielemans. Just opened up the space for Zaniolo to move into. It was an absolute gift. Really poor slip, but then the attempted through ball by Zaniolo was in itself fairly ordinary. Straight to the Leicester defence. And here come the Foxes again. Dewsbury Hall. A new man, Harvey Barnes, operating on the left wing. Charged down by Karsdorp, the attempted cross by Barnes. Another corner for Leicester. So Barnes has come on for Albrighton, but he's on the opposite wing. Lookman has moved across. It's a ninth corner of the game for Leicester. It's 9 for Leicester and a big fat 0 for Roma. Not that it's made any difference to the scoreline, but let's see now. Barnes up. Fofana challenging for it. Dewsbury Hall now into the box. He's lost possession, and Pereira has to go back and recover well. He does very well and finds James Maddison. Harvey Barnes trying to find Nacho. He's done very well now. Harvey Barnes to the byline. What can he do? It's in! 1-1! And the substitution has worked perfectly. Harvey Barnes combined very, very well with Iheanacho. They played a slick 1-2. Harvey Barnes got to the byline, played the ball across, and Ademola Lookman was there. Exactly as Rodgers envisaged. Off came Marco Brighton, replaced by Harvey Barnes. He went to the left. Ademola Lookman took up a more central position, and within minutes, it's worked out. Barnes picked up the ball 30 yards out from James Maddison. Oh, in fact, he tried to link up with Iheanacho, but he was quite fortunate, really. His through ball to Iheanacho was cut out by Ibanez, but Ibanez could only divert it straight back into Harvey Barnes' path. And he got to the byline, played the ball in with his right foot, Straight to Lookman, who bundled the ball in for about 2 yards out. Nothing the goalkeeper could do. And just like that, Leicester City are level again. Leicester City 1, Roma 1. And the fans really are in good voice now. Let's see if that can spur the team on to a first leg victory. Roma being good value for the lead up until that point. They'll have something to say about that. We are 3/4 of the way through the game. Another 22.5 minutes to go of a really exciting first leg at the King Power. Iheanacho loses out to Smalling. Zaniolo now to Abraham. Abraham very wide and offside given against him. I thought he might have been, but it was a late flag from the assistant. So one of those ones you don't often see anymore because they either give the flag straight away or they let the ball, they let play come to a sort of a natural conclusion since the VAR has come in. But one of the old-fashioned late flags there from the assistant. Now another opportunity Leicester are going to have because James Justin, who's came on early for Timothy Castagna, only lasted 20 minutes, and then Justin has been in the wars as well. Roma are going to make their second substitution of the game, and Zaniolo, who's been the pantomime villain of the piece as far as the home fans are concerned, he's making his way off. No repeat of his hat-trick heroics last time out against Bodo Glimt. Sergio Oliveira, Portuguese, is on. Scored 1 goal in the competition so far. He's on loan from Porto. Arrived in January. On for his 4th Conference League appearance. Free kick, headed out. Tielemans trying to recycle. He's forced back. So Zaniolo off. Number 27, Sergio Oliveira on. Oliveira played at the weekend from the start. Now Lookman again into the box. Offside though against him. Another late flag. Oliveira played in the 3-1 defeat to Inter. Didn't merit a starting position according to Jose Mourinho this time. "20 minutes left of the 90. 1-1. Rui Patricio's goal kick. It's taken by Jordan Veretout. Veretout attempts 1-2 with Pellegrini, but Pellegrini's return ball is cut out. There's going to be a throw into Roma, almost level with the edge of the Leicester box. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the Commentary Hub if you're enjoying our commentaries of our live games, of our recordings, Premier League games, European games, internationals, men's and women's football. We do it all. Give us a like, hit the bell button, follow us on Twitter as well. James Justin and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall combine. Now it's brought across to Ricardo. With Fofana. Dewsbury-Hall. Again Pereira. Lovely ball forward. Lookman infield. Maddison, is this his opportunity? Checks back. Now with the shot. Where is it going? Iheanacho over the bar. James Maddison has had ample opportunities to find the back of the net in this game. He's trying to almost find that perfect goal. He's determined not to try a shot with his right foot. And again there, the ball from Pereira was perfectly timed into Lookman. Lookman went infield to Maddison and in the area. Maddison had the tight angle with the shot with his right. Decided to check back infield with his left. And from the corner of the 6-yard box, he slipped as he tried the shot, so the ball ballooned up into the air towards Iheanacho, and all he could do was head the ball over the crossbar. A big chance for Leicester to take the lead for the first time in this tie. Roma come again, though. They've got a throw in now, taken by Karsdorp. And he goes back. Mancini is being played across the back three now. On the other wing now. Zeliewski. Vertu. Well won by Pereira. Good challenge by him. Now, Dewsbury Hall goes back to Johnny Evans. Fofana. Leicester determined not to just hammer the ball clear. Finally, Fofana does go long. One back, though. Inside the Leicester half by Roma. It's number 4, Brian Cristante now. He uses Ibanez. Now Chris Smalling. Again with the former Manchester United and Maidstone United man. Maidstone to Rome via Manchester. Quite the career for him. Forward again. And Pellegrini, the Roma goalscorer, bundled off the ball by his opposite number, Harvey Barnes. And Leicester win the ball back. Taking time in possession again. Yuri Tielemans. Space to maneuver. Does well. Finds Maddison. Maddison in space. Forward to Iheanacho. Iheanacho just can't take the ball in his stride. And Karsdorp is able to turn the ball out for a throw. But good play again through the middle of the park by Leicester. Now Justin. Justin links up with Kelechi Iheanacho. Harvey Barnes again. Trying to shape across his right foot. Decides to use Dewsbury Hall instead. Across to Maddison. Uses Tielemans. Leicester seem almost determined to get every player to touch the ball before they score. Maddison 1-2 and a 3-4 with Kelechi Iheanacho. Now back to Tielemans. Pereira. Good play there by Roma in defence. They held well, and now Pellegrini sprinting forward over halfway line. No one to help him though. Quite poor by the Roma players, not able to support their captain there. And Fofana wins the ball back, is in possession, uses Justin. Dewsbury Hall. Now Maddison. Maddison does well. It turns away from Vertu. Lookman. Back to Maddison. Edge of the box. Maddison trying to find space. Pereira cross. Looking for Iheanacho. It is turned behind by Roger Ibanez. Brazilian with a distinctly Spanish name. He's been fairly solid so far in this game. Part of that back three. But he's had to concede another corner here. No, it's a fairly poor corner. It's fallen to James Justin in the end, and he couldn't get good contact on it. It never should have. Corner was almost along the floor, but Roma still couldn't deal with it. And Abraham just about managed to disrupt Justin. And the ball trickled through quite harmlessly in the end to Rui Patricio, who has rolled the ball out. And Brian Cristante is looking for options now. He's had to use Ibanez. Goes to the Polish international Zeliewski. Links up with Pellegrini, then Cristante. Across to Karsdorp, looking for Vertu. And again, Karsdorp. Oliveira. Karsdorp again to Cristante. Cristante crossfield. Good pass to Zeliewski and good take from him. Zeliewski now up against Pereira into the box. Crowded out by Zeliewski and by Lookman. by Pereira. But now the shots, or a very audacious attempt, and yes, by Zalewski. And Abraham is apoplectic with his man. The shot came in from a difficult angle from very far out. And Abraham was shouting, "Where was the cross? Where's the ball into me?" Long goal kick goes straight to Patricio. Ibanez and Zalewski combining again. Zalewski up against James Maddison. Vertu now back to Ibanez. Oh, and Leicester have robbed them of possession now. Iheanacho! Oh, and just like that, Leicester had stolen the possession back. The ball was played into Kelechi Iheanacho, and from 20 plus yards out, low curling efforts, forced a really good save from Rui Patricio. It was one of these awkward ones that was just bouncing in front of the goalkeeper. It was Tielemans again. He did that a few times in the first half, winning the possession high up the pitch, exactly what you want your centre midfielders to do. Then he found Iheanacho, and I think the shot was just going wide, but Patricio had to turn it behind. He wasn't too sure. Lookman with the corner, headed away by Abraham. And the ball eventually goes out of play. And Lookman tries to take the free kick, and he's being allowed to take the throw-in. Takes the throw-in about 20 yards further up the field than he should have. Roma were a bit upset about that. Maddison now lays it off to Tielemans. Tielemans turns, finds Barnes. Barnes now on the right wing to Maddison. Is he going to lay it off to Justin? No. Finds Barnes again. Barnes into the area, and he wasn't going to get through Vertu like that. And Barnes tries to pull back. Now Roma, the advantage was played, and now Abraham into the box, up against Justin. Justin does well. Oh, lovely back heel. Oh, fantastic effort. Lovely back heel there by Tammy Abraham into the path of Sergio Oliveira, who was arriving late into the box. And it was a strong effort there from a tight angle by the Portuguese man. The referee played a good advantage for Roma, and they found Abraham. He was alone, the only man in the Leicester half. Justin managed to force him wide, and a beautiful back heel into the path of Oliveira. Took one touch, and in fact it deflected off Fofana as well, and Schmeichel had to make the save and turn out for a corner, which has come in now. Leicester deal with it. Dewsbury Hall and Iheanacho combine. But Roma come back again. Pellegrini. Zalewski uses Pellegrini again. Roma camped now in the Leicester half. Now Abraham into the box, tries to post back, and Karsdorp's coming in, can't connect with it, and Leicester just about survive. Lookman now. Suddenly the match has swung back in the away side's favour, and Abraham is being given a bit too much freedom there in the Leicester half for Leicester's liking. We've got 9 minutes left of the 90. Leicester City 1, Roma 1. Johnny Evans using Fofana. Fofana finds Pereira, and then Lookman on the wing. Pereira goes back. Evans again. Tielemans now in the middle. Ricardo Pereira. Lookman, who has now come back onto this right-hand side, and Barnes back on the left again. They did momentarily swap. Maddison being forced back. Dewsbury Hall in support. Maddison down. Dewsbury Hall again. 1-2 with Iheanacho. A little bit scrappy, but it's come out to Harvey Barnes. Leicester come again. Dewsbury Hall and Justin now on this near side. Maddison is back up, and Evans finds him with a nice crossfield ball. Good pass by Evans. Lucky deflection from, and Maddison. He attempted a cross. It was blocked. It fell back into his path. And then I think he had I'm not sure if it was a cross or a shot he was attempting there, but the cross come shot had to be dealt with at Patricio at his near post. Jose Perez, Spaniard, is being readied. 7 appearances in Europe this season, 1 goal. He hasn't scored in the Premier League this season, but he scored in the Premier League every season of his Newcastle and Leicester career. Not being used as much as he has in recent seasons, and he's replacing the Leicester City goal scorer. We're just seeing the replay again. It is Lookman's goal. Not too sure if he actually got the final touch or whether he forced an own goal, but it's gone down as his goal for now. So off goes Ademola Lookman, and on comes number 17, Jose Perez. We've got 6.5 minutes to go. Will we have a winner in this game? Will we have a team leading going to Rome next week? Forward. Looking for Perez. And Zalewski slips, but there was just a bit too much on it. And out it goes. Another goal kick. I think we're going to have another substitution. We're going to have a double substitution, in fact, for Roma. And Zalewski, who has done very well in that wing-back position tonight, he's going off, getting a deserved rest. And on in his stead comes the Uruguayan Matias Viña. And a more attacking change. The attacking midfielder and goal scorer Lorenzo Pellegrini goes off. And the Ghanaian striker Felix Afena-Gyan is on in his place. So Viña on in the wing-back position. And off goes Pellegrini. On comes number 64, Afena-Gyan. Foul given against Roma, much to Mourinho's displeasure. I was going to mention in the first half, of course, the connection between Brendan Rodgers and Mourinho when Mourinho was Chelsea manager the first time around. He was very impressed with Brendan Rodgers' coaching methods. They met in Spain, and Rodgers was working with the Reading Academy at the time. Brought him to the Chelsea setup, coaching their youth teams, and from there, Rodgers ended up managing Watford for a short time. Then he went back to Reading as first-team manager rather unsuccessfully, and did very well at Swansea, taking them to the Premier League for the first time. And that all came from those initial meetings with Mourinho, and he decided to bring him from the Reading setup to Chelsea. They have a long history, those two. They've gone back nearly 20 years now. And they meet again. Abraham tries to go forward. It's cut out by Johnny Evans. Mourinho has only suffered 2 defeats in his 10 games against Leicester. He's hoping he won't be suffering a hat-trick tonight. But Leicester are coming forward. And they don't have the best record in England, Roma. They've only won 1 of their last 18 matches in England. 6 draws in that time. 11 defeats. They've had some heavy ones, including against Manchester United in the Champions League a while ago. But here they come, trying to get a rare win in England. It's Karsdorp. Karsdorp gets away from the challenge, plays the ball in field, but Evans does well. Evans does very well, in fact. Brings the ball out. And Jose Perez now comes forward. Madison on the wing. Madison into Iheanacho. Iheanacho turns away from Smalling. Smalling is brought down, though, as he makes the challenge. He's holding his face, Chris Smalling. Iheanacho seems to suggesting there's not too much wrong with him, asking him to get to his feet. The referee taking his time with this one.
У английских команд, даже таких как Лестер, гораздо более серьезные возможности против финансов. Конечно, возможности. И
minimal contact there between Iheanacho and Smalling, but Smalling has got down like he's been shot, and now Mourinho, again very animated, being asked by the fourth official to calm down, and a nice embrace between the two managers, which is good to see, given the history you have just talked about. We're in the 89th minute now, but the players have come across for a quick drink of water. Smalling is still being treated. He's still down. I think he might have a bloody nose. The flannel, yes, I can see the blood. He's got a nosebleed, Chris Smalling. So, I mean, he must have had reasonable amounts of contact from Iheanacho. Being treated by two medical staff, laying down on the floor, and from what I understand, I'm no medical expert, but maybe not the best thing when you have a nosebleed to be laying on the floor, but these physios seem to know more than me. Smalling now getting to his feet, which was accompanied by the boos from the Leicester fans. There's a couple of cotton wool buds up his nose. Iheanacho comes and shakes hands with Smalling, which is nice to see. I think just an accident there from Iheanacho, and Smalling's white shirt is now fairly bloodstained, so he's going to have to get that one changed. We've had virtually no play for the last couple of minutes. Smalling just changing his shirts, and we're about to find out how many minutes are going to be added on. And whatever it was going to be, it's now been increased, and we're out to 5. 5 minutes added on. And here come Roma. It's Afena-Can trying to get himself into the game, trying to make some sort of impact. Now Abraham. Perez tackles him. Ball goes out for a throw. Matthias Viña with the ball in his hands. Into fellow substitute Vertu. Links up with Abraham now, and Abraham's quite audacious flick has a bit too much on it, and it's goal kick for Kasper Schmeichel. He goes short again. Evans. Now James Justin. Infield. Tielemans gets rid of the ball before Afena-Can can cause him any trouble. 1 minute of the 4 have elapsed. Evans. That's out by Cristante, but he can only turn it out for a throw, which Pereira will take. Iheanacho turns away, finds Tielemans. Now Evans spreading the play. Here comes James Justin over the halfway line. Gets away from Sergio Oliveira. Passing triangles continue between Justin and Fofana and Tielemans. Justin again. He's finding plenty of options, but they're coming straight back to him. Evans. Across again to Pereira. He's done that very well all evening. Johnny Evans finding those nice crossfield passes. Afena-Can now tussling with Tielemans. Tielemans wins the ball, but unfairly according to the referee. And Afena-Jan is still down. 2 minutes of the 5 have gone. Yeah. Tielemans did stand on the toes of Afena-Jan, which essentially was the deciding factor in him winning the ball. So, right decision by the referee. Brendan Rodgers on his touchline, but looking quite reserved as he usually does. Not one for shouting and flailing his arms like his opposite's number is occasionally. Everything coming through James Justin at the moment. Now Evans. And these 5 added minutes are elapsing without much action taking place. We've had 3 of the 5. And Leicester have had possession for the majority of it, but now they try to come forward, but Barnes can't gather Justin's through ball. And Roma clear their lines. And it's back again with Schmeichel. Fofana trying to liven things up. Evans responds to James Maddison's call for the ball. Pereira running forward, but Maddison's forced to use Iheanacho. Now Justin. Dewsbury Hall. Back to Iheanacho. Now Pereira spreading the play. Perez now on the wing. Perez away from one. Tries to find Maddison. He does. Maddison in a bit of bother. Oh, and he goes down. I think he won the free kick and put his hands on the ball. The referee has given a free kick to Roma for handball. I think it was a bit soft, actually. I think another good decision by the referee. Just seeing the slow motion replay of it. Maddison trapped the ball, went back, and yeah, no foul there really by Vertu. Not sure if Maddison was booked there for the handball. Only 30 seconds of the 5 minutes still to be played, and Leicester have won a free kick for offside. We're running out of time, really. It's been, after a really lively 90 minutes, it's been a very, very tame injury time. Nothing really of note at all, but Fofana still believes there's time. He goes to Pereira. Pereira links up with Perez. Again, Justin now on the opposite side. Uses Barnes. We've had the 5 initial minutes, and Barnes slips over. And that pretty much sums up the injury time period of this game, where neither side has been able to find a winner. The referee blows his whistle for full time. Rodgers and Mourinho embrace again. They're having a few words, the old friends, on the touchline. They will meet again next week, where everything is still to play for. And I've just seen confirmation that the Leicester goal has gone down as a Mancini own goal. But it was Harvey Barnes' work with Ademola Lookman that really forced the ball over the line. Lorenzo Pellegrini took his chance in the first half to give Roma the lead. But we are all square as we go next week to the Eternal City. And the match there, of course, no away goals in Europe anymore. The match will be decided one way or the other next week at the Stadio Olimpico. But for now, as the tie, the first half of the tie concludes, it's Leicester City 1, Roma 1. I've been Anthony Thomas. You've been listening to the Commentary Hub. Thank you very much for joining us for this evening's coverage, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.